I think we're back. Having some internet issues here this morning. Sorry about that, everyone. We're having a little bit of an internet issue today. I think we're back up and running. Sorry about that. Issues here. But we're back, and we have Delta on their 767-300 landing from JFK. I have flown on that flight many times, visiting family and friends in New York. Just a few minutes out too, they're on short and final. We have China Eastern Airlines flight 583 coming in from Shanghai, and it's on a 777-300ER. I'm doing pretty well, Max. How are you? Just about 2 minutes out on that China Eastern flight. There are two landing in front of it. We have JetBlue 287 from Boston, and then in front of that we have Southwest 2037 from Austin as well. And in front of us we have this Delta flight, the 300ER. Very nice plane. I love that Delta still flies these. This is Southwest coming in from Austin, Texas. Looks like we're going to be seeing a little more of Southwest here on the south side about through January. I just got word yesterday that the taxiway project is slated to finish by January. On the north side, or the repaving of the runway. Gianna 380 that landed, parking at the gate, and right behind it, it looks like they had Korean take the long route and let Asiana go in front of it, even though they landed well before them. That's very interesting. Droen Oldies, welcome. Hamburg, Germany. Very cool. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to LAX. Welcome to our very exciting morning of lots of heavies landing here. And just breaking through the cloud layer over there, that should be our China Eastern 777-300ER flight. From Shanghai. It's China Eastern Airlines flight 583 from Shanghai. Very nice landing there, China Eastern Airlines from Shanghai, flight 583. One of my favorite heavies, the 777-300ER. For those of you watching, what's some of your favorite aircraft? I know mine are 740, 757, and 777. Coming up next, we have some takeoffs coming. We have one going to Tulsa, American Eagle, flight 4890 on an Embraer 175 LR. And then behind that, I have a Delta flight, and it's an A330-900neo, but it says not available for where it's going. If I had to guess, I think that's the Haneda flight. Good choice, Max, the 777 with the GE90s. You cannot beat that sound. Looks like Delta Flight 7 is lining up. They should be taking off shortly. I'm guessing if it's a 330 Neo that is the Haneda flight. It still says not available. I'm not sure why. But we're going to show it to you anyway. Like they're lined up and just waiting on takeoff clearance any second now. That China Eastern is parking. Joe, the LA spotter, thank you so much. Thanks for the support. We'll happily take your very generous money. Thank you though, thank you. That's awesome. All joking aside. Here comes our Delta A330. For some reason that one said not available on the destination, but I'm pretty sure Delta Flight 7 is a Haneda flight. Yep, actually it just updated. Delta Flight 7 is headed to Haneda. For 10 months. Appreciate the kind words. Keep up the great work. We really appreciate the feedback and glad you're enjoying it. And thanks for being a member for 10 months. Looks like the Bradley terminal's filling up. And we do have an American 787 on the ground here. That one just came in. That was flight 2554 coming in from Miami on a 787-8 Dreamliner. I think Dreamliners definitely are on my top 5 list as well. I've had the pleasure of flying on one and it was great. And that was Spirit Flight 203 heading to Charlotte, North Carolina on an A321. And coming in we have another A321, American Flight 1275, coming in from Washington, D.C. It's just off there in the distance. It should be landing shortly. And right behind it, we have a DHL cargo plane operated by ABX, Flight 505 on a 767-300ER. They should be landing behind the American Airlines plane coming in from Washington. So that'll be a nice treat. That's always a special one. I will buy Joe a whole box of donuts later. Our American Airlines flight coming in from Washington, D.C. on an A321. not far behind it, we have DHL operated by ABX coming in from Phoenix, I believe, on a 767-300ER. That's also on short and final. It is coming from Phoenix. It's a 767-300ER, and it's flight 505. Don't know if we can see it quite yet, but that should be it right there. It's always fun seeing a DHL flight come in because of the bright yellow and red. It really, it looks really cool as a livery. We'll stay on that one. What's going on, Helsinki spotter? Good morning. How are you today? Thanks for joining us here at LAX. Hope everything is good with you this morning. You're joining us right as a DHL flight from Phoenix is coming in on a 767-300ER. Flight 505. That's about all we're going to get of the DHL flight. They probably will be turning off fairly early today to join their friends all the way down there at the cargo terminal. That's unfortunate. We had an Air Canada flight, I think, coming in from Toronto on the north side. I'll have to double check that. Let's zoom in on the old map here. Yes, that was Air Canada 785 on an A330-300 coming in from Toronto. It landed north while I was trying to film the DHL plane. Give me just a sec, everyone. I'm gonna make a Instagram post I forgot to do this morning. Make sure everybody knows that we're live here at LAX. Kyle, good morning. I am ready for Halloween. I'm excited. Now that I have a little kiddo too, Halloween is even that much more fun. We did just have a pushback at the cargo terminal. It's going to be Atlas Air going to Narita, flight 7101 on their 747-400. So very exciting. We've had a lot of heavies come in today. We had two A380s, a 747 cargo. Oh, don't want to miss this. That was Alaska Flight 1418 in the Star Wars livery going to Guadalajara on a 737-800. That one's always an exciting catch because who doesn't love a Star Wars plane? And it sounds like Atlas is doing an engine startup. They are going to be headed all the way to Tokyo Narita shortly, flight 7101 to Tokyo Narita. And we have American Eagle just taking off here. Headed to Oklahoma City on an E-175 LR. Very nice. And we have a Bombardier headed to Las Vegas. Probably party time if they're taking a private jet to Las Vegas. I think it's a Bombardier Global. And up next, another Delta connection, another 175 LR, just on a very short flight to San Diego. A bit of a traffic jam here on the taxiways, and it looks like there's another flight that's going to join that lovely traffic jam on the taxiway. Let's see what we've got going on over here. We had an American Airlines flight 33 from JFK over there. We have Alaska 703 from Las Vegas that's landed and waiting over there. And then another JetBlue 723 from JFK there. And then this guy all the way from Charleston, another JetBlue flight, Charleston, South Carolina. So quite a bit of traffic. And then Southwest taking off here for New Orleans. Very fun city. I'm excited for the for Atlas 7101 to take off. I think they're just sitting there starting up and checking everything, but we've got to have our second 747 of the day, and this one we'll be able to see better. It'll be nice and close. It's been an exciting morning here at 2 A380s, now second 747. It's been a good morning. And coming up here we have American Airlines 1994 headed to Dallas Fort Worth on an A321. JD, good morning. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us here at LAX. We're glad you're enjoying it as well. Next up, we have United 2365 on a 737 MAX 8 taking off for Houston. It looks like that traffic jam we have here is finally moving. I feel bad for all those passengers who are stuck waiting in that traffic jam. We should have a Delta Airlines A320 coming up shortly, going to Austin, Texas, flight 931. We've got a few other takeoffs as well. A little quiet on the landing front for now, but that should be picking up shortly. Thank you, Chris, for coming in with that info. If you guys are enjoying it, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. It really helps us out. It helps us grow the channel, and it lets us know that you guys are enjoying what you are watching. And it looks like our Atlas Air 747 is on the move. They are rolling down the taxiway, so we should be seeing them shortly. That's going to be flight 7101 to Tokyo Narita on their coming up in just a minute. We have 931, Delta 931 heading to Austin, Texas. I think they're just waiting for some takeoff clearance. Atlas made a very fast taxi. They're almost at the end of the runway. I guess they're raring to go today. And just before Atlas, it looks like there's a Gulfstream G450. It's not giving any flight information, but that'll be taking off as well. And then our Delta flight to Austin is finally rolling here. think next up we have Alaska 286 headed to New York. I think that one's headed to LaGuardia. Next up, we have American 4881 on an E175 LR headed to San Antonio, Texas. It's a little quiet on the landing front today, but there's quite a few waiting to take off, and we're still waiting on our Atlas flight. This one's headed to San Antonio, Texas. It's so small, we can get nice and tight on that one for you guys. Then coming up next, we're going to have Air Canada 776 on a Boeing 737 MAX 8 headed back to Montreal. They are lined up on the runway and waiting just behind this United Airlines MAX 9 going to Washington, to Dulles. Up Air Canada 776 from LAX to Montreal on a 737 MAX 8. Air Canada is on its takeoff roll. Very nice. Now we have our Gulfstream G450 lined up and ready to go. It's not giving me any information as to where it's going, but it's always fun watching a private Gulfstream jet scream into the air. And just behind it, Atlas Air 747 is waiting to head out to Tokyo, Narita. Hopefully they get takeoff clearance soon. I know there's actually quite a lineup of planes waiting to take off here on the south. Here comes our Gulfstream. See how long I can stay with it. Very nice. I actually think that one landed here last night. I vaguely remember I was having dinner at Proudbird. It looks like Atlas Air Flight 7101 to Tokyo Narita on a 747-800 got its takeoff clearance and is on the roll. Very nice Atlas Air departure, 747-400. Coming up next, we have a United Airlines 757-200 headed to Newark. Or sorry, to New York, to LaGuardia. Actually, sorry, no, it is going to Newark. There we go. Lovely Rolls-Royce RB211 engine screaming into the sky. Have a safe trip to Newark. Feet above us here on short and final, coming in from Taipei, flight 5382 on a 777 freighter. Just breaking through that cloud layer. And Joe, we'll see you in about 40 minutes. Always fun to hang out with Joe. He's a local plane spotter who's actually a huge expert on all things aircraft. And Mikey's just letting us know that Air Tahiti has a special livery coming in. It should be just behind this China Eastern cargo flight, about 2 minutes out behind this 777 freighter. Very nice landing there by China Airlines Cargo. And up next, just about 30 seconds out, we have Air Tahiti Flight 8 on a 7879 Dreamliner. There they are. This one is a special livery. It just looks like it's the normal Air Tahiti livery. It's always a nice one to catch. Beautiful airplane. Then on the north side, we're going to have ANA Flight 6 coming in from Tokyo Narita. They're on final on another Dreamliner. And just behind them, we're going to have Cathay Pacific coming in from Hong Kong on Flight 884 on a 777-300ER. So stay tuned for that. There we go. This is ANA Flight 6 coming in from Tokyo Narita, and just behind it we're going to have Cathay Pacific 884 coming in from Hong Kong. That's on their beautiful 777-300ER. When Cathay is in view, we will go in on that. For now, let's hang in on this beautiful Dreamliner. Like Air Tahiti is stuck waiting for a gate. And there's our Cathay Pacific 777-300ER coming in from Hong Kong. Flight 884. I actually plugged, I'm sure you heard the ding, I actually plugged in my laptop. For some reason it is not happy. It is slowly discharging while charging and I can't figure out why. Next up, we should have Delta Flight 689 headed to Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. That one's just waiting on the threshold of the runway for takeoff. Zip Air taking off here on the north. I'm hoping one of these days Zip Air goes south. It'll be nice to see them up close. That is Zip Air going to Narita. Here's our ANA flight that just landed a couple of minutes ago. And it looks like next up to land on the north, or the south, is going to be a Delta Flight 479 from Boston on a 757-200. And taking off next, we have Delta 615 on a 737-900 ER going to Cancun, Mexico. I wouldn't mind heading to Cancun for vacation today. Here comes our Delta 757-200 landing from Boston. I think the 757 is my second favorite airplane. I feel like the 757 has such a presence. The way that it stands and how tall it is in the front. I hope Delta and United, who are the two largest operators in that order of the 757 in the U.S., hang on to them for quite a while. Hi, Green Skittle. Good morning. How are you today? Have American Airlines 1889 on a 737-800 headed to Las Vegas. Party City. That was JetBlue Flight 6100 headed to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And then we have Japan Airlines Flight 62 just off there in the distance on another 787 Dreamliner coming in from Narita. Max, thank you so much. Thank you for your €5.99 super chat. That's awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. And Max again, €2.49. Dude, thank you so much this morning. That's very generous. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your kind donation. Little inside joke there, sorry. 5 minutes, we should have Japan Airlines Flight 16 from Haneda on a 777-300ER. They are downwind over Culver City. And they'll be making their U-turn heading to the north side runway soon. We'll keep an eye out for that one. Give me just a sec, everyone, while we have a quick lull. I'm gonna grab a charger. Now we should be back in business. My laptop charger was acting up and it was discharging, but I found another charging cable, so we should be good. My apologies there. And then coming up next, we have United 399 coming in from Newark on a 787-10 Dreamliner. They should be second for arrival, just behind this American Airlines flight from Chicago. And again, that's United Flight 399 coming in from Newark on a 787-10 Dreamliner, the largest variant. Cargo buildings, we'll get a very nice view of the United 787-10 Dreamliner. Sorry, I had a total ADD moment. It was like a totally like ooh shiny things moment because I saw a Lamborghini. Hi Jim, welcome. Welcome. Jeez, that is loud. Thanks Jim for tuning in. All the way from Kentucky. And it looks like the Japan Airlines Flight 16 is about 2 minutes out on a 777-300ER. Looks like we're gonna get that one south today. I think it is on the path to come south. That's a special treat. Yeah, Helsinki spotting. That was some guy in a 90s Mustang who I think cut the mufflers off and made it obnoxiously loud. Las Vegas Flights Live, what's going on? Welcome, thanks for joining us here at LAX today. We're awaiting anxiously the Japan Airlines Flight 16 from Tokyo Haneda on their 777-300ER. And we just had this United Airlines 787-10 come in. And if I'm not mistaken, that Japan Airlines 777 is actually on the path to go south. They're kind of hanging out around 2,500 feet just before Inglewood on short and final. Like Bradley is filling up this morning. When we started streaming, it was only the Eva Air, and now we have a whole bunch of peeps hanging out in there. Inglewood always up to no good. So we have United Airlines Flight 405 landing from Denver here on the south. They just landed. And actually, I think I may have gotten it wrong. Yeah, I think our Japan Airlines Flight 16 is actually going north. There it is right there on their 777-300ER. It looked like it was going to be going south for a quick second, but I think we're getting a north side arrival. And again, this is Japan Airlines 16 coming in from Tokyo Haneda on their 777-300ER. There we go. Very nice landing there. Let's see what we have coming soon. We've got a landing north United 1374 coming from Orlando on a 737, and we have Southwest from Albuquerque coming in south on a MAX 8. So just a bit of a lull here. We had a ton of takeoffs a minute ago and no landings, and then we had a ton of landings but not many takeoffs, and now we have a little bit of not a lot. Chris, thank you so much for your gift of 10 euro Aviation TV memberships. That is awesome. If any of you guys and gals got a gift from Chris, please make sure to thank him. Membership is awesome. Chris, thank you again. We really appreciate it. That's awesome. Don't forget to thank Chris if you were gifted a membership. That's very kind and awesome. Let's see what we've got going on here on the map. I think on the north side, second in line for takeoff, we're going to have Air Premia Flight 102 going to Seoul on their 787 Dreamliner. We don't currently have anything. And we've got just one or two flights landing, 737 MAX 8s and a MAX 9 on the north. Try to follow that Air Premia 737-900 is headed to San Francisco, and just behind that we'll have the Air Premia flight to Seoul on their -9 Dreamliner. I wish some of these would go north. It would be fun to see Air Premia. I'm still trying to scout a good location on the north side where we could see the takeoffs. The few locations I've found, you see the planes rolling, but not necessarily taking off into the air, which I personally love to see them rotate and take off. So I have to find a decent spot. Like United Airlines Flight 251 is taking off on the north to Baltimore. Or sorry, landing from Baltimore. I think Air Premia is holding short. Like they are turning onto the runway and should be lining up and should be clear to go for a takeoff. I'll try to catch that one for you guys. It might be a little bit far away. Hi Karen, good morning, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. We're just waiting on Air Premia on the north side to start rolling on their 787-9 Dreamliner Flight 102 to Seoul, South Korea. They're lined up. should be seeing them shortly. They are rolling. That is as far as I can zoom. A little bit backlit on those mountains there. Miss Wolves 13, good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Always good to see you here. Arriving in about 5 minutes, we're going to have a 777 freighter. It's China Southern Cargo Flight 441. They're actually flying over us right now. They're going to be making their turn over downtown LA shortly to land here, I believe, on the south side. But can't see it because of the cloud cover today. But we'll keep an eye out for that one. We're going to have United Airlines lining up on a on a 757-300 heading to Denver, 2279. They're going to be taking off soon. They're lining up on the south runways, and I'll have to check what this one is for you guys in just a sec. That was United Airlines 2463 headed to Vegas on a 737 MAX 9. And then we have our 2279 on a 757-300. That one is rolling now. A lot of flights to Vegas this morning. Maybe I didn't get the memo that there was something fun going on there this weekend. Love a 7.5 takeoff. And we had Lynx Air land while we were filming the United plane all the way in from Toronto. It should be coming out from under this, or around from this building in just a sec. It's on a 737 MAX 8. Yeah, the 757 has a real presence, like I was saying earlier. It's very muscular looking. It's very stout. It definitely has a presence. I think it actually sits higher than the 767. I was talking to a pilot about it the other day, and I think it actually does sit higher than a 767. So that definitely gives it a real stage presence there on the runway. Then coming up next here on the south, we have American Airlines 2455 coming in from Boston, and just behind that, United 2190 coming in from Houston. And we are going to have a special guest shortly. I think he's on his way. My friend Joe, the LA spotter who was watching earlier, he had a half day at school. He's headed over. He is a huge aviation enthusiast and expert and local spotter. You can show him any plane, commercial or military, and he can tell you exactly what it is and what country it was built in, where it's from. So he is on his way. That's going to be pretty cool. And speaking of 75s, there's another triple. I don't know why I keep saying that. 757-300 United. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I've been keeping an eye on China cargo. I do see it's about 3 minutes out. I was trying to film them earlier flying over us, but there was too much cloud cover, so couldn't quite see them. But yes, that's coming up in about 2 minutes. We have China Southern Cargo Flight 441 on a 777 freighter. All the way from Shanghai. I've had quite a few cargo planes from Shanghai this morning. That's our American Airlines A321 flight 2455 that landed from Boston. And just behind it, coming up here, we have United Airlines 2190 from Houston. These Delta pilots this morning, they are going fast. That's the third 737 in a row that I have had trouble tracking. Go Delta. That was Delta Flight 1517 headed to Kansas City on a 737-800. Coming up next, we have that 777 freighter from Shanghai, China Southern Cargo. They're about 1 minute out. I can see them now. Let me get in. They're just coming out of that cloud cover. Yep, and we do have a Delta flight coming in from Haneda soon. Going to be on an A330-900. They should be coming in soon, just behind the China plane. And SAS is also going to be coming in shortly from Copenhagen on their A350. They're about 5 minutes away, I'd say. We got more spotters standing here right in the way. Looks like our special guest has arrived. This is China Southern Cargo coming in from Shanghai on their 777 freighter. I think they're going to be turning off early onto taxiway Alpha as well. And it looks like SAS Flight 931 coming from Copenhagen is on final. They're making their U-turn and should be landing shortly on their A350. And then coming up next we have Delta Flight 8 on an A330-900 Neo north side arrival from Tokyo Haneda. So as soon as that one breaks through the clouds, we'll follow that one. Get a little glimpse of the China Southern Cargo plane here. It did turn off early, but you can still see it a little bit. I scheduled it to go live. Look who showed up at 7:30 in the morning. Sorry for the lull here, guys. My friend Joe, who is the LA Spotter on Instagram, really good Instagram page, is here. He's going to take some photos. He's going to have some commentary here with us today.
Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. I just came by to join Ben for a little bit and hope the stream's going well.
Thanks for joining us. It's always fun having guests.
Yeah, it's always great being here. Such a great spot. Pretty busy day.
Yeah, Karen, if he's comfortable with it, I will put him on camera after these heavies land, just so you guys can put a face to the name if he's cool. He did say he'd be cool with it, so we'll stick him on camera for a sec. I'll zoom out. I'm gonna have to have him stand pretty far away because I have my 100 to 400 millimeter lens on here, so I don't want to get too close in on the face. Mikey's saying hello to you.
Oh. Hey Mikey, hope you're doing well.
And this is our Delta flight coming in from Tokyo Haneda on an A330-900.
Better lighting. I just came all the way from the valley and it's beautiful over there.
Yeah, we still have some marine clouds here today.
Yep. Seems like that's how the weather is a lot of the time in the morning at LAX.
I think LAX is like its own weather system because I live about 5 minutes away from LAX and it was bright and sunny when I left.
Wow. Yep. LAX is just
and I can actually see my neighborhood from here and it's still sunny.
And then there's SFO, which literally has its entire own weather system that changes.
So
like
Joe,
every 10
if you
minutes.
want to go stand like by the bench, over there. This is Joe. and I don't know who that is, but he's saying hi. It's another local plane spotter. So Joe has a lot of knowledge about a lot of aircraft. I I know one time we were trying to figure out what a specific military aircraft was, and we just texted him the picture, and within 2 minutes we had a response, not only what it was, but what country it was from.
Yep, that was a Eurofighter and the, I believe the Belgian Air Force F-16s for their demo team. They got to do some crazy stuff.
I think Mikey and Jacob were at a show.
Yeah, I would assume so, because that particular F-16 that they saw pretty much only does air show demos, but they do some crazy stuff.
And coming up next from Boston, we have United Airlines Flight 311 coming in from Boston on a 757-200.
I just got here. He might have. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Sorry? Hey.
Did you have, I'm Billy.
I'm Ben.
Did you guys catch the landing from 2322 Spirit from Newark?
Maybe. I think I did.
The 320
320. It was the 320 Neo.
Nice.
About 20 minutes ago.
I would have loved to see that.
I might have caught that game. I've been filming a lot of Southside stuff.
Okay.
We have you're a pilot.
Yeah, I just brought it in. That's why I was
Nice.
wondering if you guys caught it by any chance.
We have a Spirit Airlines pilot
Are you
over
gonna be
here at
departing
Clutters
today?
Park, hanging out.
Are you going to be departing LAX?
No, not tonight. Tomorrow.
Departing at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bit early for
Are
me.
you streaming live somewhere?
I
or-
am streaming live right now. This is Euro Aviation TV
So where can I find? I can find it like so I can scroll
on
through it,
YouTube.
Or YouTube. Okay.
It's Euro Aviation TV. They're based in Amsterdam, and then I do all their LAX streams as of recent.
So I go like a.
Yeah, that's
So
his
this
stream
one,
right now.
That
Yep.
is me.
Okay, so I guess maybe I can look.
You could
SD card.
you can scroll through and see if we caught your landing or not.
Let's see.
Let's see. No, I don't want my wallet. I'm gonna
Thank you, Sergey, for sending all your viewers over to us. That was super awesome. We're going to continue the stream here at LAX. We're actually joined by my friend Joe, who's the LA spotter on Instagram. He's a huge AV expert, and we actually have a Spirit Airlines pilot hanging out with us too, which is pretty cool. He just popped over to see if we caught his landing about 20 minutes ago. I think this is our SAS flight. It's an Airbus 350 coming in from Copenhagen.
He announces all the stuff, and you can see at the bottom what the flight number is in case he caught it.
I'm looking for it. Okay, that's where it will be, right?
Yeah, it'll be on that video. You'll find it if it's there.
Is the time here this one? Or
Let me see.
or 10:52?
That's.
You know, I think the time will be off on the live
I'm not
stream.
sure.
But when the stream ends, the time will be correct. It's kind of funny how it works.
I landed at 11:03. 11:03. So.
What you could do is you could look for look for the airplanes that look for the.
I'm surprised that this
look for one that's
this
on
flight
there
from
and just check
Copenhagen
what
is
time that
going
one
north.
landed.
Actually, usually it's
To
a
see if you're
south
too far
side
ahead
landing.
or too far behind.
I think it was there you go. I was here. That was JAL.
Oh, you found it?
I found JAL, and then I was kind of right behind it. So I don't know if you caught the 787, then he would have catch me. Because the 787 was next to me. Yeah, that was next to me. So
maybe he caught the taxi.
Maybe, let's see.
I think everybody was like 787.
Of course, that's what I thought. When I saw it, I was like, damn it, nobody's gonna catch it. I was like, when I saw the 787, then I'm gonna look at the Airbus.
Maybe he caught the taxi.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? Thank you guys all for joining. There's a bunch of you new people on here. Super cool.
Yeah, when the 787 comes, I was like,
I just saw him. I think.
there you go.
Yep.
Hold on, I'll pick it. Well, that's where he's taking another one. You saw it barely, but that was me.
Nice.
Yeah, let me see.
Since we have a Spirit pilot hanging out here, I'm gonna film this Spirit Airlines takeoff.
Cool, I'll look for it. But,
Alright.
what's your name?
Joe. Nice to meet you.
So where did you come in from?
New York.
New York. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. It was,
So I missed it because of the Dreamliner.
I knew it. I was like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We were trying to rewind on the live stream to see if we caught his landing about 20 minutes ago on his. It was a 320, Airbus 320.
Can you watch my stuff? I'm gonna move.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
be
So
right back.
I think I missed it because we were filming the JAL Dreamliner.
I caught the JAL Dreamliner myself too.
That's always fun to see a Dreamliner.
Yeah.
I apologize we missed it.
No, it's not your fault. I knew it. I was like, it's gonna happen. But it's funny because like I filmed the Jaws today. There, it was right in front of me. There's a 787.
Oh yeah.
So I caught it myself.
It was the Air Premia takeoff. Yeah.
My wife is there, so hey,
nice to meet you. Pleasure. Thanks for dropping by. Coming up, we have United 2717 coming in from Las Vegas here on the south side. And for all of those who came over from SK Airplanes, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to continue the stream here for a little while. We just had a Spirit Airlines pilot join us for a minute, and my friend Joe, the LA spotter on Instagram, who's a huge aviation expert, is also here. So we've got a nice crowd. We'll see that United plane fly by in just a second. There we go. Nice smooth landing by United coming in from Las Vegas. Flight 2717 on a 737 MAX 8. There's a lot of Las Vegas traffic today. There's been at least 4 flights in the last hour that have taken off for Las Vegas. And a couple landings as well. And here we have American Airlines Flight 2939 headed to Chicago. Chicago's a beautiful city, and I love their deep dish pizza. What do we have next?
Currently lining up right now, we have SkyWest Flight 3480 on its way to San Francisco.
And then landing here, we have Boston. We'll try to get those both. We should be seeing that JetBlue plane momentarily. They should be creeping around from the cargo buildings here.
There he is. He's slowly making his way over towards us.
There we go.
Ben, I must ask, what's your opinion on the JetBlue Streamer's tail? Do you like it?
I do. I think it took a slightly boring livery and added some nice flair to it. But I personally like the new minted livery.
Yeah, the mint one is cool. You mean the one with the blue and green?
Yeah, it's finally, JetBlue is finally blue.
We'll say that again.
For those of you watching, what's your opinion on the JetBlue flare tail versus the new minted livery? Karen, thank you so much for supporting both of us. That's awesome.
Right across the way we have a Volaris special. Right across the way we have a Volaris special livery known as Your Sister Airline.
And that one's heading to San Salvador.
That is flight 4331.
We should be seeing that one take off here on the south side. That one's a very cool livery. And then it looks like Western Global's MD-11 just lit up. So that one should be going shortly.
We should also have a 747 coming over in a little while on its way to Seoul for Atlas Air.
Oh, very nice. Is that the one hanging out on the north side, or the south side cargo terminal over there?
I believe so.
So we're just waiting for this one to turn so you guys can see the special livery. I forget what this one is a throwback to. Let me see. I thought that one had like some throwback ties to Taka Airlines from back in there. There's one airline that does do that.
I believe that is Copa that does that.
You're right, it is Copa Airlines.
I believe you were Copa bought Taka or merged with them. I'm not sure what happened, but I believe currently Taka became Copa. I just don't know how exactly.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep up in the comment section to say hi to everybody, but what I can see is Joshua, Michael, thank you guys so much for joining. Karen got re-gifted today. Lucky you. We're just we're waiting on a couple to go here. I think next is SkyWest. Then coming in from Phoenix, United 1480 on a 737-900. Joe, thank you again. You are standing literally right next to me, sending me super chats. I love it.
I got bored.
Oh, so now I guess I'm boring.
No, not in that way. I wanted to try to do something funny.
Everybody go give Joe some love on his Instagram. He's the LA spotter. Has some great photography on there.
Thank you, Ben.
And here's our SAS A350 coming in from Copenhagen. Ooh.
That looks
That's
like
Illinois 1. Where are they headed to?
That is Southwest Airlines. Oh, that thing doesn't want to load. Let's check once it loads.
That's Southwest Illinois 1, which is an appreciation livery for all the people they work with in Illinois.
That is flight number 727 on its way to Kansas City.
Very nice. Almost missed that one. It's very easy to get distracted on the south side here and miss the north side stuff.
It really is. So much action going on.
To get distracted at LAX in general.
We may have had some sort of private 767. Oh, never mind. It's Northern Air Cargo. It's showing up as not showing the flight number or any info. So normally that means it could be private. That's why I assumed so. But it looks like it's just Northern Air Cargo.
And coming in here on the south, we have JetBlue 2123 coming in from JFK on an A321.
I'm pretty sure this is the exact one that I flew on to New York about 2 years ago. This might be one of their first Neos.
The JetBlue flight landing?
Yeah, I believe this exact aircraft was their first Neo.
So that's shocking because I can't even remember what I ate for breakfast 3 hours ago, but you can remember the plane and tail number from a flight you flew on 2 years ago to JFK.
I have some of them saved in my phone.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go ahead and actually check if that's the exact one.
Daniel, yes, Mikey and Jacob are from Amsterdam. Recently, I partnered up with them. My name is Ben, and I am doing some LAX streams once a week for them. We figured it'd be a fun way to expand the audience and do something a little different and fun, and it's been really fun working with them, so I really appreciate it.
Got a Gulfstream that just started taxiing, so we should see that in a little while.
This also has that new JetBlue tail.
Oh yeah, the new Streamer's tail.
The new JetBlue Streamer's tail, and I think that's a 321 Neo.
Yes, actually, something interesting is the easiest way overall to tell is they have much bigger engines. They're more round and they look less skinny to say kind of. It's hard to.
You know what they do? They're much like, I hate to say it, but they're like fatter looking than the current engine option on the 321s. It's
kind of like comparing the old A340 engines to the new ones, the small thin ones to the newer big ones.
The hair dryers to the bigger normal sized ones.
Yep. Or like a Rolls-Royce RB211 to the Pratt & Whitneys.
Yep, the Pratt & Whitneys are much larger.
Yep. And I think I already know the answer to this, but which do you prefer, those Pratt & Whitneys or the Rolls-Royce engines?
I am a Rolls-Royce fan through and through.
Rolls-Royce all the way. Nice cars and nice engines.
I'm not a fan of the cars.
They're okay. Expensive, but they're okay.
Like a quick survey here. What's your favorite aircraft and why?
Ben, would you like to answer that question?
Yes. My favorite is a 747. And I do like the older 400 variant. I've been obsessed with it since I was a little kid. I love the upper deck. I've always thought it was so cool that it had that upper deck.
It really is.
And I do love the way those engines sound.
I never had the chance to go on a 7.4, so I'm hoping to one day hopefully change that before they're all phased out of commercial
Daniel's
service.
favorite is the Embraer 175 or 220.
Looks like Mikey loves the 777.
Mikey is a 777 fan, we know that.
Oh, those GE90s, they're literally screaming when they come in.
And then yes, Chris, thank you. We have the KLM 787-10 Dreamliner, second for arrival here on the south. I did see that one come up on radar. I'll have to catch up with that one when it comes out of the clouds.
I'd love to see the 777 Orange Pride back here again. We haven't had that one here in like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, that one hasn't been here in a while.
It's a very cool livery.
So just ahead of it, we have a very cool Cirrus G2 coming in from Lake Havasu City.
SF50.
I'm not sure if that one's going to come by close enough for us to see. Probably not, because I'm sure it's going to Atlantic Aviation on the other side. But that one's pretty cool. Those are neat.
And currently Volaris Flight 4331 is lining up, and that is that special livery known as your sister airline. It will be flying to El Salvador.
And then I think actually they're sending the Amsterdam arrival on KLM to the north. I think.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a north arrival.
It's interesting because they sent the A350 from Copenhagen SAS, which is normally a south side arrival to the north, and now they're sending KLM to the north.
Yeah.
So there it is in the distance. And then actually we just got, I don't know if we can see it. There it is. Western Global in their MD-11 is pushing back. So we're going to catch the MD-11 takeoff. Let me get it nice and tight on the back here for you guys. That's the Volaris, your sister airline special livery. And then let me go ahead and follow the KLM 787-10 Dreamliner coming in from Amsterdam. That's flight 601. Just a little over 10 hours of flying time.
Sounds like a long flight to me. Ben, what's the longest flight you've ever been on?
13 hours. It was just a shade under 13 hours.
Wow, where did you go?
Paris. And we had a lot of headwinds, so it took a long time.
The longest flight I've ever been on was probably, Probably London. That was about like 12. It was about 13, 14 hours, but we had some nice tailwinds on that
So it
flight.
should have been only like 10 hours.
Sorry, I mean, well, I'm not sure actually how long. Maybe 12 hours, 13. I'm not sure actually.
I'm excited for this Western Global. It's always exciting when we see a tri-jet take off.
Not that many left.
Not that many left anymore. And then hopefully KLM will swing around the backside and taxi into Bradley. And there's cool stuff, like landing, because we cut it later and put it under short YouTube. So we try to. No, I didn't tell you, but
Yeah.
just for the next couple, like when that, yeah, like just the. How's everybody doing this morning? I hope you guys are all having a great day. Yep, Air China's 777 is going to be landing on the north in about 10 minutes. Looks like they're downwind over just past Culver City. They're coming in from Beijing on a 777-300ER. They're downwind right now, and they'll be making their turn to come on short and final soon, so we'll definitely keep our eye on that one.
Oh, and there's that vision jet. Did we already talk about the vision jet?
Oh yeah, there is that cool little thing that I said landed earlier that we probably wouldn't see. We actually are seeing it.
My guess is they wanted him to go to a different taxiway for traffic turning off, or he landed late. One of the two is my guess.
Kind of looks like a mosquito.
7 or an A380 just taxi right by that thing. That would be such a cool comparison.
It would make it completely invisible.
Let's get the Antonov 124 back here.
That would be cool.
Have you ever seen an Antonov 124?
I have once.
Nice. I have a vague memory of one sitting on a taxiway here at LAX back in 2016.
I did see that.
That was cool. I missed a beautiful photo of one when I was in New York a couple summers ago. Flying right overhead.
What do you guys think of this little thing? It's kind of cool. Thing moves quick. It looks like a mosquito and moves like one.
He seems like he just put up a lot of throttle and he just pulled it back. Someone's in a rush to get to the gate. Have you ever seen a Vision jet here? We see them at Santa Monica all the time, but I don't think I've ever seen one here.
No, I've never seen one here, but look at how fast this guy's moving.
He wants to get off that runway. Oh, and we got the Delta Sky Team 764 that just arrived.
That's a cool livery. I'm guessing from JFK?
I'm checking right now. It looks like he just arrived from JFK. You were right. Seems like that's the only route they do with the 764.
I've flown on that plane before.
On the special livery?
Yeah. Yeah, Mikey, that is like the smallest private jet I think I've ever seen.
That and the Honda jet, I'd say, takes.
Here, let me get in close.
Actually, that's probably like the smallest one that flies regularly everywhere, at least in LA.
That thing has a jet on the roof.
It's a single jet with about 4 seats, and it costs $2 million, which is quite crazy. It only
$2 million for that little 4-seater plane with one engine.
Yep. But the cool thing is that it has a built-in parachute, which actually works and
So
saved
like
many
the
lives.
Cirrus?
Yeah, this is a Cirrus actually.
Oh, okay.
The Vision Jet and the SR-22 and 20, I believe, they all have a built-in parachute.
So
that
Mikey
can be
wants
deployed.
to know if the Honda is smaller.
I don't believe so. I think it has like 6 seats.
Okay.
I'm not sure though. That's a question for the internet.
That's a question for Google.
The Honda Jet has 6 seats and the Vision Jet has 4.
There you go. There's your answer.
And then there's the Gulfstream that has like 10.
So it looks like Western Global is just kind of stuck in a hold over there. hopefully we'll be able to see that one shortly.
This might seem odd, but did you ever know they mounted winglets to a DC-10 bed?
That I didn't know.
They did tests, which made the when they were developing the MD-11, which is quite interesting. We have one of those winglets in the museum I work at.
Hang on, everybody. I'm just checking my radar app here to make sure I don't. All right, we have Atlas Air holding short of the runway down there. They're headed to Seoul, South Korea. We'll get a very nice 747 takeoff for you guys here in just a minute. Looks like they're just holding short. There is something on the arrival path, but they are making their way.
Shouldn't be too long of a wait, and it looks like he's starting to move onto that runway right now because it's just a private jet. They can move off the runway quite quickly.
So this is flight 531 going to Seoul on a 747-400. So that's going to be really cool, and it's going to scream on its way out of here. Hopefully it's heavy since it is going far.
Should have a nice, hopefully late rotation. Get some cool photos, some nice video.
You know what? They might be taxiing to the far runway, which is a very good sign. To the, what is that, 25R, which is the longer of the two. So that means they are going to be loaded nice and heavy, and then we're going to have hopefully a nice long takeoff if they requested 25R. Yorkshire Biker, good morning, good evening. Hello, hello. We're just following this Atlas airplane here. That one's going to Seoul. And looks like they requested 25R, which is the longer runway. So we're hoping we have a nice long and late rotation from the Queen of the Skies. Yep, they're getting lined up and ready to go. Like we're only 25 likes away from 100, so if everybody could show us some love and hit that like button, that would be awesome. We would super appreciate it. Let's get a bunch of likes for this Atlas Air 747. Beautiful, beautiful takeoff there from Atlas Air's Queen of the Sky 747-400. Thank everybody for the love on that 747 for lighting up the chats. And looks like Western Global is finally on the move with their MD-11.
And we also have an Asiana Cargo 747 pushing back right now.
Oh, nice. So we're going to have another 747 takeoff. Yep, Air China is on short and final. They'll be landing on the north shortly. I can't quite see it through the clouds yet. Oh, I missed it. Shoot. I was so excited about that 7.4. I apologize, everybody. I totally goofed on that one. Get a better view of that one when it comes around and pulls in. David, welcome to the stream. Welcome from a very wet United Kingdom. Sorry to hear that it's that you guys are getting some rainy weather. So coming up soon, I can see it all the way down there. I'm not sure if I can pull you guys in close enough. But there's that Asiana cargo plane that did just push back from the cargo terminal and is heading to just a short flight to San Francisco. So we'll make sure to catch that one.
Someone's running a bit behind schedule there.
Yeah, they're very late. Yeah, so yesterday the Lufthansa A380 came back for the first time since COVID, and it was really cool to see it. It came in around 3 p.m. yesterday, and I just checked it with Joe, and they're running really late today.
About 2 hours behind schedule.
Yeah, so they won't be getting in till about 5-ish, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Sounds like I won't be staying here today to watch that.
No, I don't think I'll be here late enough to do that either. Western Global is almost at the end of the runway in their MD-11, and Asiana is, I think they're going to be taking 25R as well, although I'm pretty sure they're going to be fairly light since it's just a short trip to San Francisco.
It's most likely just a ferry flight to go pick up some cargo. So
yeah, it's probably a repositioning flight. Make for some fun takeoff footage though. And then Aviation just landed here, and then A320. Very nice livery. I wonder who is going to take off first, the Asiana Cargo or the MD-11. It's looking like the MD-11 is going to take off first, so that one is Western Global Flight 9783 headed to Anchorage, Alaska on an MD-11 freighter. Always awesome to see an MD-11 since they're so rare.
Are there any tri-jets in service that, actually, never mind. I was going to say something different.
I don't think there are any other tri-jets in service. Big tri-jets, at least.
Yeah.
In the U.S.
Trying to think if there's any notable exceptions. I can think of two, actually. There's an there's actually L-1011 that launches rockets out of Mojave and Orbis, which is a flying eye hospital, I believe. And those are the two exceptions. Aside from that, I believe it's just the MD-11. That's a major tri-jet.
Alright, looks like all of their lights are on. Just going to stay with this one. I'm afraid that if I move away from it, that it's going to get away from me. So it's on its roll. Here we go. Headed to Anchorage, Alaska. Lighter than anticipated, and I bent the tripod all the way back to the point where it got stuck. Wow. I wonder how many feet per minute that was. That had to have been huge.
All I can tell you is he was really moving.
How do I That was impressive. That was an impressive and unexpectedly large. That was United Flight 38 landing on the north. From Tokyo, Haneda.
Cathay should be pushing back very soon. 777. See that soon.
It looks like our Asiana Cargo 747 is still chilling over there, but I think it's finally starting to turn. But there is an Air Canada A330-300 that will be taking off in front of it on its way to Toronto, flight 788. And then just behind it, we'll have our Asiana Cargo flight to San Francisco. And we have the Aeromexico Dreamliner also landing here as well.
Narrow body coming in on a long flight. Pittsburgh to Los Angeles on an A220. Would you do that, Ben?
No.
Seems like a very long flight to be stuck on a 220.
Here comes our Air Canada flight on an A330-300. Definitely had the Rolls-Royce Trent 700 engines on it because that was loud.
Those Trent engines are very nice though.
And again, that was Air Canada flight 788 headed to Toronto. And next up we have our Asiana Cargo flight headed to San Francisco, flight 286 on 25R. And I have a feeling this is going to be another short and steep takeoff. I'm guessing it's just a repositioning flight. Not as steep as the Western Global flight to Anchorage, but still a pretty early rotation there. But at least we were able to see it. And there's our China Cargo 777 freighter. Coming in from Shanghai. And unfortunately, they'll be turning off early onto taxiway Alpha as well. Hey Phil, member for 3 months. Thank you for your membership, and thank you for your continued support. We super appreciate it. And hello to all of you in the UK. And Phil, thank you again for your continued support with your membership. As I said, we super appreciate it. There's our quick view of the Aeromexico 787 that came in from Mexico City. We didn't get a chance to stay too long on that one due to the 7-4 takeoff. Chris, member for 10 months. Thank you so much, Chris, for your continued support. It means a ton to us. Everybody's favorite, the banana livery. Play thank you so much for your comment. So you're up in Tahoe then. How is it up there right now? Miss Wolf's 13, thank you so much for every minute. That makes us very happy. I'm so glad that you and everybody else are enjoying the content. That means a lot to us. We've had a pretty epic morning here at LAX. We've had, I think, at least 5 747 takeoffs and landings. We had the couple A380s come in. We've had an MD-11 takeoff and a bunch of 777 and 787s. It's been a very good morning here.
We've seen quite a lot. Definitely a great day for spotting.
Yeah, and before you got here, we had tons of heavies.
At least the weather's finally clearing up.
Yeah, and the sun is coming out.
Looks like it should be a beautiful rest of the day.
And we should have a 787-8 Dreamliner, American Flight 1959, heading to Miami after this little jet takes off here. We have our Dreamliner 787-8 lining up. That's American Flight 1959 heading to Miami, Florida. I think we just had, what did we have? A Breeze Airways from Pittsburgh, an Airbus 220.
Long flight to be on such a narrow body aircraft.
Yeah, that was the one that Joe mentioned earlier, and I don't know if I could do a 5-hour flight on a very small, narrow body. Although I'll reserve my judgment because I have yet to go on an Airbus 220, but it does sound cramped. Those wings are beautiful on Dreamliners.
Dreamliner is definitely such a beautiful plane. Have you ever got to fly on one, Ben?
I have. I flew a Dash 9 from here to Heathrow and back.
Nice.
Yeah, somebody said we were having focus issues, but I've been monitoring everything and it all looks okay to me. Thanks for bringing it to our attention, but I think we're okay. This one's better. I dropped my RP this morning. Like I was holding it and dropped on the plane. It had no lens on it and it had a cover, but is it damaged? I don't think so. The shutter isn't moving right.
What do you mean like it's broken?
Like, you know, when it breaks, it jiggles.
What do you mean it's not supposed to jiggle when it's not on?
Oh, well, it's not like, it doesn't sound broken.
Yeah, like if you shake it when it's not on, it'll jiggle because that's the stabilization.
It's the Obis, or Ibis,
yeah. It's the Ibis.
Yeah, I actually dropped, sorry, we're having a little unrelated conversation. My other camera that I have, I accidentally dropped it this morning when I was loading it into the car. And I have yet to test it to see if I broke it, and I'm praying that I did not, so.
Well, hopefully it still works. I just had to get my lens repaired because I dropped it while it was in the bag. The lens cap wasn't on, and that cost me a pretty penny.
David, thanks for letting us know that it refreshed and everything is fine. Every once in a while it happens. It just the bit rate needs to refresh. Let's see what we've got going on here. A little bit quiet. A little quiet on the landing front. Got a couple things coming in. We have a Delta Airlines plane landing from Portland coming soon.
Should I, if it's like getting boring or something, should I ask like a question for aviation? Even if I know the answer, just so just for entertainment. That's what I was doing.
Max is lighting a missing? I don't think so.
Unless we have something coming in, but it doesn't look like it.
Actually, Joe, there's a question for you from Karen on here.
Yeah.
She wants to know, she's always wanted to ask this, is there any airline that has a hub at LAX? Nobody ever says anything about that.
In terms of hubs at LAX, each airline is different, but certain airlines will have hub systems. I'm not sure exactly what airlines have hubs, but some of the major operators that I can tell you are definitely Delta, American, United, Southwest, and JetBlue. I believe JetBlue is considered LA hub. Same with Delta, and I'm not sure on the other two airlines. Maybe I'm not sure which are technically labeled hubs.
I think JetBlue for sure and Delta for sure consider LAX is a hub for them.
And I think
especially
Southwest,
because of how much money they've invested in the new terminals.
Definitely those four are definitely the major airlines here. And Spirit and Alaska are up there, but they're not as much presence.
I don't think they're quite a hub.
Yeah. Still massive presence though.
Looks like SQ12 is inbound from Singapore. 777-300ER. We should be. Joe Karen says thank you.
No problem, Karen. Happy to help.
And Turkish Airlines 787-9 Dreamliner is just past Culver City, and they should be, they're downwind right now. They should be making their turn soon. And just behind it is SQ12 from Narita, actually, not from Singapore. That's flight SQ12 on a 777-300ER, so we'll be getting two heavies in a row.
Yeah, it looks like our next 74 is going to be in about 30 minutes. We should see the Lufthansa 747.
In about half an hour, we'll have the Lufthansa 747 landing on the north. That's always an exciting one to see.
And it looks like there won't be any more 747s after that for a while. But we got to see a lot of them today. Always fun to see them.
Yeah, we've had 5. This will be like the 6th 747 today, so it'll be great. But Turkish Airlines Flight 179 is about 5 minutes out on a 787-9 Dreamliner. They're downwind, about to make their turn over downtown LA to get on short and final, and they will be followed by SQ12 coming from Narita on a 777-300ER as well. Hopefully my camera battery holds out.
I got a bunch of extras if you need any.
But if I pop it out and cover the screen. When I plug the camera in, it still discharges, but like at a much slower rate. I have a battery here, but it's too hot. It sits higher because of it.
You can put it right here.
Yeah, I'd have to like lower everything. It's a little quiet here. Little quiet, but we've got a couple things coming soon. Looks like these guys have a nice lineup today. We have EVA Air's 777, SAS A350, the Asiana A380, the ANA Dreamliner, and the Korean Air A380. It's always fun to see what is at Bradley. Looks like Turkish is going out fairly far before they make their turn. But next up on the north side, we have Air Canada 552 coming in from Vancouver. One should be poking through the clouds shortly. I can see it off in the distance. That's going to be Air Canada 552 coming in from Vancouver. And that's on a 737 MAX 8. Is bringing back their Airbus A380 to LAX starting on Sunday of this week.
It only comes in at 7:30, so we won't be streaming. It's quite
7:30 p.m. Here comes Aero Mexico. I'll have to get the flight info for you guys in a second.
4-5 on its way to Mexico City.
Looks like Turkish has finally finished its turn, and they will be landing in about 2 minutes. And that's coming all the way from Istanbul on flight 179 on a 787-9 Dreamliner. And it looks like they're lined up to go north.
And to add to the mix, a China Airlines Cargo 777 has just started taxiing.
Oh, they did. Yes, so we're going to see a China Airlines cargo plane coming up soon. How fast those little private jets can take off.
That was a NetJets Bombardier Global.
NetJets, very cool. It looks like we're going to have a Southwest flight coming in from Sacramento, and then that will be followed by our Turkish Airlines Dreamliner on the north side runways. And then behind that, we will have our Singapore flight from Narita. It's a little cloudy still on the north side runway, so it's a little hard to see the planes until they're pretty close. So there's our Southwest plane coming in from Sacramento, so that means not far behind it we're going to have our Turkish Airlines plane, our 787 Dreamliner coming in from Istanbul. Because of the clouds, but it should be here shortly. Let me take a look at the map.
Looks like he's just slowly emerging through the clouds.
My eyes are kind of bad. Oh, there we go. There is the Turkish Airlines flight from Istanbul. Real quick, we're going to go into that United Airlines 787-10 Dreamliner. That was United Airlines Flight 39 headed to Tokyo Haneda on a 787-10 Dreamliner. Thank you everybody, all 290 plus of you who are watching. If you're enjoying the stream, please hit the like button. That helps us know that you guys are enjoying it and that you want to see more. If you guys could all hit that like button, we would super duper appreciate it. That would be amazing. I know I would appreciate that. It shows me some support. And finally, our Turkish Airlines flight all the way from Istanbul. And that was United Airlines Flight 1712 headed to San Francisco. Nice, short, easy 45-minute flight. I believe this is our Singapore flight, SQ12, coming in from Tokyo Haneda on a 777-300ER. Moments away from landing.
China Cargo 777 just started taxiing over towards the runway right now. He should be holding short momentarily.
Perfect. That one for SQ12. That one will be coming around, headed into Tom Bradley shortly. We should have China Airlines pay. I think that one's just kind of hanging out, waiting on the taxiway to get their takeoff clearance. That should be a 777 freighter.
The second China Airlines cargo is just pushing right now.
Got some plane spotters hanging out over, so it's hard to pan over and show you guys. But they are down at the end of the runway there. Should be seeing them momentarily. I think they're just waiting for this Delta flight, this 757, to land before they move. After that, they should be clear. There's nothing in the arrival path. we have a Delta 757 landing right over there. And then the China cargo plane should be clear for takeoff. There's our China Airlines cargo plane making its way onto the runway. So I have a very nice heavy 777 freighter takeoff momentarily now that the Delta plane has landed. There's that beautiful 757-200, and it should be clearing the runway shortly to make way for China Airlines cargo to take off just over there. Real quickly while we're waiting for that, there's our Turkish Airlines Dreamliner. Just landed about 5 minutes ago, and there's SQ-12 that landed right behind it. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to stay on these two too long, so I'm keeping my eye on China Airlines cargo, waiting for that to roll. A very speedy takeoff there. There's our Singapore Airlines 777-300ER that came in from Tokyo Haneda and Singapore Flight 12. This was actually the Spirit Airlines airplane that the Spirit Airlines pilot who was visiting with us earlier landed on about an hour and a half ago. And it looks like we are having a double pushback here of both A380s.
That's not something you see every day. That's quite cool to see.
That is very cool to see. Looks like Asiana and Korean are being pushed back at the same time. That is a one heck of a sight to see right there. Both are headed to Seoul. KE-18 and 201 and OZ-201. I'm wondering, I know they've mostly been going on the north side, but maybe, I don't know. They're facing this way towards the south. Kevin R, it is a little nerve-wracking to watch that because it looks like they're just inches away from each other. I'm wondering if they're going to go south or if they're going to make a 180 and go to the north.
That'd be nice to see them on the south again for once. Haven't seen
Yeah, every once in a while they've gone to the south, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, but what a cool sight. And with that Singapore 777, I think is going to sneak in front of them once that Alaska being towed moves out of the way. But I think it's going to take their gates.
Speaking of Alaska, what do you think of their old livery? Do you like that one or do you like this one more?
I miss the more to love livery.
I miss that one as well.
So I think Singapore is going to pop in front of the Asiana 380.
One rolls out, another one rolls.
In the meantime, we've got Lynx taking back off again. I think Singapore is slowly making their way into the gate. Yep, just like I thought, Singapore is going to go into where the Asiana 380 just got pushed back from.
Special livery just came in on the
Lynx 716, right?
No, we just got the new, I believe it's Washington State. It's an Alaska Embraer livery.
I believe that just landed.
Yeah, they just landed. I believe it's a brand new paint job.
Is it the Washington Dogs livery?
Yes.
Yeah, that one's a beautiful plane.
I believe this is their third rendition or second one.
We'll probably see that one turn around. Which one? Okay, and we have another China Airlines Cargo 777 freighter lining up here. That one's headed to Miami, Florida. Hopefully the Alaska Embraer Go Dogs Washington plane, it is coming around, I believe. It It is very pretty. I saw it land here a couple days ago. There it is.
Such a beautiful livery.
I just want to say thank you to everybody watching. If you're enjoying it, if you could please hit that like button and show us some love and let us know you're enjoying it, and help our channel grow, that would be amazing. You guys are the best audience, and we love doing this for you guys. Another China Airlines 777 freighter. Let's see if we can catch the there she is. That's their newest rendition of the Alaska Go Dogs Embraer 175. I think that's a beautiful livery. It's like a bluish purple with a gold touch to it. And now we're just kind of in limbo with these A380s. I know they're starting up their engines. And we're just kind of in limbo waiting to see which direction they're going to go. I know sometimes they do a 180-degree turn and wrap around back to the north. But maybe we'll get lucky with a south departure today.
That would definitely be special, especially since they'd probably be taxiing right after each other.
Nope, they're going north. I believe they're going north. Yep, sadly they are making their 180-degree U-turn to go north.
I almost thought for a second they'd come this way, since there's a vehicle sitting right there that directs them over when they come this way. The airport ops.
We had a small glimmer of hope they were facing this way. But sadly they're going north. Still excited though. It's always fun to watch those 380s take off. Even if it's a north side departure, we'll still get a nice view. Just a sec, everybody. I need to take a quick sunscreen break now that the sun is behind me. And we're going to have an EVA Air 777 pushback as well. looks like Korean Air is going to be following suit of the Asiana and doing the same U-turn. And the Lufthansa 747 is about 30 minutes out. Thank you, Chris. We'll get a nice closer view of the Alaska Special Livery again while we're waiting here. What do you guys think in the comments? I think that's a beautiful livery on this E175.
I'll agree with Ben on that.
Yeah, David, the Lufthansa A380 was in yesterday. It's running about 2-ish hours late today, though. Normally it comes in at 3 p.m. and it should be scheduled to come in around 5:05 p.m. today. So that's unfortunate. And there's an Air France 777-300ER landing there on the north side. That one will be coming around shortly as well. I'm wondering if Eva Air is going to go north or south. We have been getting that one south. But they seem to have been putting a lot of the heavies north today. David, you know what? It kind of does look like a Cadbury's wrapper. That's very funny. I still think it's a beautiful livery. I don't know what the holdup is on these 380s. It looks like they're just kind of sitting in limbo. Yorkshire Biker and David, you guys are both right. You guys are making me hungry for some chocolate eclairs. I'm not sure what's going on and what the holdup is with the 380s here, but it got a little quiet. We have a United Dreamliner taking off over here. That was United Flight 2614 headed to Newark on a 787-10 Dreamliner. Took me a minute to catch up there. It looks like Korean's going to do the same thing. It's going to be heading north. So we'll wait for those. We'll wait for those to take off. We'll still be able to see them, just not as well as if they were still going on the south. Craig, welcome to the stream. How are you? Right in front of us, we have United 1013 coming in from Denver on a 737-900ER. You can hear those G90s on that 777 whistling into life. Looks like EVA will be doing a Southside departure on their 777-300ER. And it also looks like ANA is pushing back in their Dreamliner. A little bit of the afternoon rush hour here before it gets quiet.
Also got Air Linux going on the north side as well. Lynx Air, sorry.
So that EVA Air flight will be going to Taipei on flight 5. We'll be seeing that one right in front of us here. And those A380s are making their way to Seoul, South Korea on the north side runways. We'll still see it. It'll still be cool. What do we have over here?
Oh, that's a special livery.
That is Copa Airlines. I'll find it. That is Copa Airlines coming from Panama City, Flight 360 with their breast cancer awareness livery. I had a feeling it might be that with the pink.
Always cool to see those liveries in support of breast cancer awareness.
Yes, I know Delta has one as well on a 767-400, so that one's always fun.
Especially since this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month this month, so very good of Copa to have that livery. Hello, Saul, all the way from Brazil. Very cool. Thank you for tuning in and joining us here at LAX. I love how diverse the audience is. It's awesome to see where everyone is watching from. I'm gonna go away from that for just a second. The Asiana big bus is taxiing down to the north side runways. We should be seeing that one take off soon, followed by its friend Korean Air, both heading to Seoul, South Korea. And then after that, we should be seeing our EVA Air 777-300ER taking off as well. Looks like Copa is going to get the long route. I have to say that pink again. I'm going to take away here for a second. I think this is Korean Air Cargo landing here on the south. That is coming in from Seoul on a 777 freighter. A lot of activity from Seoul today, in and out of here. The Minion Lover, hello from Sydney, Australia. Very cool. Thank you so much for joining us here at LAX on this beautiful, beautiful afternoon. I hope you guys are all enjoying the stream and the content today. If you are, if you wouldn't mind doing us a huge favor and hitting that like button to let us know that you're enjoying what you are seeing here. Looks like we're also going to get the ANA Dreamliner taking off here on the south, or because we have a lot of cool things taking off at the same time. Looks like Asiana and Korean are going to be 3rd and 4th for takeoff on the north. And Eva Air is making its way down. I'm not sure who's going to make it there first. We also have a United Dreamliner that is going to be 2nd for departure here on the south side. Flight 231 on a Dreamliner heading to London Heathrow. Daily Queen 7, I am using Radar Box to look at all of this information. There's live info and I can see what's moving on the ground and it's giving me all the info. So it looks like Lynx Air and then United Express are 1st and 2nd for takeoff on the north, and then we're going to have our Asiana and Korean A380s after that. And then we should have United Airlines 231 taking off on a Dreamliner for Heathrow, followed by Eva Air, and then it looks like, and then the ANA plane. Airplane on the north side. And coming up next here on the south, we have United Airlines Flight 231 on a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner heading to London Heathrow. Yep, and the Lufthansa Queen is downwind. Should be seeing the Lufty Queen soon. Looks like they're just heading over East LA and should be making their U-turn to come land here on the north. So it looks like I'm going to have to pick and choose here. So United's flight to London Heathrow is lined up and ready. But the Asiana plane is also lined up and ready on the north. I am guessing that you all are going to want to see those A380s take off. So whichever one rolls first, I'm filming. It looks like I'm getting the Asiana first. They're on the takeoff roll. We'll be seeing them come through the center here in just a second. Zoom out for just a sec. that United flight going to Heathrow. They'll be banking a little bit right to head up the coast there, and then make a left turn heading towards Asia. And Korean Air is lined up and ready to go next. Korean is also on the roll here. Get it in the same frame, I apologize.
Eva's really banking up today.
Yeah, Eva's making a very hard left bank. It's going to be blocked. The camera's going to block. The pole is in the way. And then we have the Lufthansa plane, the 747, coming in from Frankfurt. They're about a minute out. I think that's going to be the last one for us here today. So we'll follow that one as it comes in here, and then we're going to go ahead and end our stream for the day. I haven't seen that one break through the clouds yet. There she is. We're going to follow this one all the way until it lands and comes around and parks at the terminal. Craig, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the chat, for the dollar chat. We really appreciate that. That's awesome.
What would you say we're at?
Looks like this one's in their new livery without the yellow in the tail. And then really quickly, since that one's hidden by the buildings, we have the Fiji Air A350. But we'll come back to that one in just a sec. Very nice landing, Queen of the Skies. The Minion Lover, that definitely looked like a butter landing. And this Fiji Airways A350 came in all the way in from Nadi, flight 810.
I'm looking forward to doing that flight next year.
Yeah, Joe is actually going to be on that flight next year. Lucky him. Here's our ANA flight. That was ANA Flight 5 headed to Tokyo Narita. And we should be seeing that Lufthansa 747 coming around in just a minute there. That is my absolute favorite plane of all time since I was a little kid right there. I'm going to stick with this one until it gets to Tom Bradley to its gate, and then we're going to go ahead and end our stream for the day. So I just wanted to tell every single viewer today, thank you so much for all your support, for the likes, for everything. I hope every one of you enjoyed it as much as I enjoy doing these streams for you guys. I'm gonna stick around for about 5 to 10 more minutes while this is taxiing and going to its gate. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Miss Wolves. Good night. Just while we're watching this 747 come in, what do you guys think of this new livery without the yellow on it? I think it's pretty elegant and classy looking, but I do like the contrast that the yellow gives. Again, thank you every single one of you for watching and tuning in and joining us here at LAX today. If it wasn't for our audience, we wouldn't have such an awesome show. You guys make the show what it is. Ladies and gentlemen. nice wingspan view there. You guys need me to stay on for a while for redirecting? Okay. Alright, I'll call you guys back. Okay. Thanks everybody for joining us today. I hope every single one of you enjoyed this stream, and we'll see you guys next week, and we'll let you know the time and place.